This is FightFans Radio.
Welcome to Across the Pond with your hosts, Andre Jacobs and Matt Simpson.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and bring it back to the old school cats and kittens. This is FightFans Radio, and welcome to Across the Pond MMA. My name is Andre Jacobs. As per usual, I'm here with my fantastic co-host, the man with the sultry tones, a voice so good enough that if he speaks to a woman, her panties automatically slip off. What TV show is that?
I don't remember.
You
Dude,
do? Come on!
Oh, you're stumping me with that. My brain's not working.
Black Dynamite, dude.
Yes, Black Dynamite. Yeah, man, I'm feeling like I've been shot at and missed and shit at and hit, so you're going to have to bear with me. I'm going to make less sense than I normally do.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, considering what Matt just said, you guys are in for a fantastic show. Matt, besides from feeling shit, how have you been? How's your week been? Been playing any video games? What's really good?
Man, I tell you what, I've not been playing video games. I've been going to sleep early and feeling just generally like crap all week. So I did get a little Halo in before the show. Got to play a couple matches of that. It's still running good, and I have to say that I am starting to get into the multiplayer. So I'm enjoying that. I know that Black Ops 2 came out and everybody under the sun. It broke records on Amazon. It was the most pre-order game in the history of Amazon. So,
I don't play Call of Duty.
Yeah, I'm done with Call of Duty 2. I don't give a shit about it anymore. I mean, they just constantly just do a few upgrades to it and ship it out the door, and millions of people buy it. So, yeah, I've had my fill of Call of Duty 2. But evidently, no one else has because it sold a crap load of games this past week.
I don't get it, but then again, I sort of do get it because I am a massive FIFA fan, and that's basically the same game every single year. Plus, if you add,
I don't know, man. FIFA still every couple of years they make a big upgrade. They do something. So Call of Duty, though, I mean, since the first Modern Warfare, they haven't really done much with the game. I mean, they've added, taken away, but it's still basically the same game. I think everybody likes it because it's so easy. I mean, you can literally be a complete shit at first-person shooters and go into that game and have some success. So I think that's the thing that they figured out. They figured out how to make a game. I mean, it looks pretty, and it's real easy to play. So
yeah, well, you know, it depends. I mean, I'm not a huge Call of Duty fan. Erica, are you a Call of Duty fan?
No. I don't like first-person shooters anymore. They make me nauseous.
Yeah, Halo does it for me, but not a big shooting fan myself.
So, did you pick up Halo yet?
No, I might wait till Christmas, or I might get it next weekend.
That's horrible.
Why?
I mean, what about Hitman Absolution? You gonna pick that up?
I'm not a huge Hitman fan, to be honest.
Killing me.
I'm not killing you. You love it, man. It's all good.
All right. Well, there was some MMA that happened this weekend, I think, wasn't there? Didn't we?
Really? Was there?
Was there a pay-per-view?
It might have been, but I think on a Friday there were a few fights though.
Yeah, there was something that happened on Friday too. I don't really remember.
Is that our shtick now, where we sort of go, yeah, I think there was something going on.
Yeah, maybe it is.
Maybe, potentially. Know. Neither do I.
Maybe we do that sometimes. I don't know.
I suppose so. What was Bellator like? I didn't get to see it.
Friday night's Bellator 81 lightweight tournament semifinal. It was a decent card. Marlon Sandro made an appearance. He quickly defeated Dustin Neese, which I mean, he should quickly defeat Dustin Neese, being that Neese is not anywhere close to his skill level. But it was impressive nonetheless. Took his back, got a rear naked choke. Dave Jansen, Ricardo Toloni. It was a pretty entertaining fight. Split decision, or well, actually, it was a unanimous decision for Jansen, but it was close. Round split 29-28. Marcin Held, Rich Clemente. You know what? I really couldn't get over the fact that Clemente would not quit playing footsies with Marcin Held. I mean, you don't. You've got to know your limitations as a fighter, and when you're in a match with a guy that's his bread and butter is leg locks. Even if Clemente's a good submission guy. He's been in the fight game for a long time, veteran. But you still shouldn't spend 2.5 rounds where a guy's best at if you can avoid it. And that Clemente seemed to be okay with it, and it ended up costing him the fight as he got submitted via toe hold. But overall, it was a fun card. I mean, I did enjoy it. And like I said, I was glad to see Marlon Sandro. I always enjoy watching Marlon Sandro fight, so I was glad to see him back inside the cage. So yeah, it was a decent card.
So does that mean like who were the standouts for you?
Marcin Held. I mean, I think he's a
one-trick pony though.
But I think that's in Bellator. You can get away with that. I mean, we know that the competition. It's not like if he was in the UFC, it wouldn't work out for him. But in Bellator, you can get away with that until you get up to the title fights. But he looked good. Like I said, there really wasn't. I mean, I guess Marlon Sandro. I mean, his transition to the back against Nice was seamless. I mean, his Nobu Niao, BJJ. I mean, the guy's fantastic. I think that Sandro. I think we talked about that before. He's just getting old. He's not that old as far as age. I think he's like 36, somewhere around there.
You have no right to be calling anyone old, kind sir.
I mean, he's getting old inside the cage. He's just not as fast as he used to be. You know, I mean, he's still going to manhandle and take out anybody that's not near the top 10. But I think top 10 opponents he's going to have trouble with.
Mm-hmm. Okay, fair enough. Now, you sent me a message earlier today talking about Legacy FC, and you were saying how there was some magnificent knockout. And I see we all see knockouts all the time. Nothing. Someone got overhand right, yada yada yada. Dude, can you tell me about? Do you know anything about what's this game? This guy's name?
Thomas Almeida. Yeah, he's
Thomas De Almeida. Who is this guy? Where did he come from?
He's a stand-up artist. I mean, he's just nasty Muay Thai, and that's what he showed against Cody Williams. You can go to Bloody Elbow. You can, because I've been all over the net trying to find a video of it, and the only place I found it is Bloody Elbow. Bloody Elbow's got the short replay of the knockout, but he lands this beautiful right elbow that just devastates Cody Williams. I mean, it has to be one of the top elbows I've ever seen landed in MMA. I mean, it landed in an elbow, and the way he does it. It just you just don't ever see that. I mean, even Chris Weidman's elbow, he threw. I mean, Munoz kind of ran his forehead into it. I mean, this one lands just like a right hook. I mean, it lands perfectly on the button and just drops Cody Williams. I mean, and Cody Williams isn't top mixed martial artist by any stretch of the means, but the way that Almeida lands it is a thing of beauty. And you should check it out.
You don't have to be a top mixed martial artist to dodge an elbow. I mean, it's relatively hard to connect with an elbow because it's you have to have John Jones-esque arms, or have your opponent's distance down to like perfection.
Yeah, the timing and stuff. I mean, ask Shinya Aoki. You saw what happened when he tried to land a standing elbow.
Yeah, exactly.
So. It is definitely something worth checking out. And that's what's kind of cool about some of the smaller promotions. You do occasionally get these gems, and so that's why I usually at the very least try to catch the highlights of them, and if not, watch the entire event.
Oh, no doubt. Robert Drysdale gets another victory. How long is it before he gets picked up by the big boys? Because the guy keeps on submitting guys.
I think that,
I'm not gonna lie. I really want to see him versus Vinny Magalhaes.
That would be good. I think maybe a Bellator could pick him up. I don't think the UFC is going to be picking him up because he still lacks any type of real stand up. I mean, he's fantastic on the ground, but I don't know. Even with his victories, I mean, he's been beating a lot of cans. He's not really beat any top flight competition. I think he's going to have to step up in competition in legacy, get a couple more wins in LFC, and then maybe graduate to a Bellator. That's where I see him going. Unless his striking just all of a sudden really takes off, I just can't see the UFC picking him up.
Okay. Was there anyone else that you were impressed with during that? Personally, I saw a gif of Angel Huerta, who had a brutal knockout. I was very impressed with him. Anyone else that you were impressed with?
No, that's you pretty much nailed it. I mean, yeah, Huerta's left hook was pretty devastating too. It had Almeida not been on the card, Huerta would have probably had the knockout of the night for LFC. So, but yeah, that was you hit the other two fights that were both entertaining.
No, for sure. All right, so Saturday might have been a card, might have involved a guy called George St. Pierre. Before we get into our thoughts, Erica, you being the expert and someone who's in the industry and actually gets paid for this, what did you think of the event?
Are you asking me what I thought of 154?
Yes. Were you, as a fan, and quick question actually, something I've actually been wondering, when you watch fights and you're not actually doing your job, do you still, count the punches and kicks in your head?
No.
Oh, you're alright, so you can shut it off and whatnot.
154 was not a great event, in my opinion. I thought it was mediocre. I mean, the main card just was not really chock full of exciting fights. We had a lot of booing from the audience. And, the Campman-Hendricks fight was fairly, exciting. This knockout is always kind of exciting, but it was so short. And then, the best fight of the night was George St. Pierre and Carlos Condit. So.
For sure. Well, thank you very much, Erica. Matt, your thoughts?
Yeah, I'd have to agree. Until you got the co-main and main event, I mean, the card itself was disappointing, especially going into it. I really thought we were going to have a pretty exciting card through and through, but that wasn't the case. I was really disappointed. Even though I picked Tom Lawler to win, I was really disappointed in how Francis Carmont fought against Tom Lawler. The fights that I thought were going to be the standouts, they just weren't. I mean, I thought Patrick Cote, Alessio Sakara was going to be a standout fight, and we ended up with the DQ punches at the back of the head. Pablo Garza, Mark Hominick. It was a great first round, and then Hominick just gets completely dominated for the next two rounds on the ground, controlled, and just was never able to get up. And then what at the end of the third round, losing the fight, didn't he try like a rolling omoplata or something along those lines?
I don't know what he was thinking when he done that. I really don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's just
just punch the dude in the head. Punch him in the head. Do you know what I mean? That's all you need to do. There's no need to. You try rolling omoplatas, mate. You never really try rolling omoplatas. But if you're going to try rolling omoplata,
you probably should never try them. Period. That's probably right.
Probably should never try rolling omoplata. But if you're going to do it, you do it in really early in the first round when your opponent isn't as sweaty as hell and hasn't got your blood on him.
I mean, for me, outside of the co-main and main event, I mean, the standouts were probably John McDessie and Elkins dominated Seiler, which is not really surprising. I mean, Elkins has been dominating competition now for, I think, 4 or 5 fights in a row. It's definitely time for him to step up in competition. Menjivar, that guy he definitely should not have been fighting on Facebook prelims. And so I can't wait to see this guy. I think he's going to make another run at bantamweight. I don't think he'll ever win the title, but he's definitely, to me, he's one of the top bantamweights out there. And I think that the fight that we had, or that he had with Mike Easton, where he was really tentative. I don't know if maybe it was just bad game planning. I mean, or something else was going on with him. But I think that is an anomaly. I mean, typically Menjivar, he brings it every time he comes out. So I love watching that guy fight.
It's crazy that George St. Pierre's first fight was against Ivan Menjivar.
Yeah.
Like, you look at them now and they're just complete. Like, one's probably half the other person's size. It's really
Yeah, no, for sure. But yeah, I mean, and Hendricks, man, that knockout of Campman. Right before it happened, I was watching the fight with a bunch of people. I was sitting there complaining. I was like, Campman, being a guy that has a soft chin, he doesn't hide it. And I was like, the guy needs to learn to hide it. And it wasn't like 5 seconds later, Hendricks clobbers him and flattens him. And I was just like, wow. Johnny Hendricks, I love seeing the guy win. I mean, I'm a huge fan of his. And I hope he gets the title shot that he deserves.
Yeah. I'd say he definitely deserves a title shot.
He's Koscheck, Campman, and Fitch. I mean, knocking out Campman doesn't completely blow me away because, like I said, Campman's got a soft chin, but knocking out Fitch,
has he got a soft chin though?
Yeah, he gets hurt all the time. He gets hurt almost every fight. He's kind of got that Eddie Alvarez syndrome. Dude gets, I mean, and now given he's getting hit by some guys that are heavy punchers, but he gets clipped and hurt a lot. But it doesn't matter. I mean, Hendricks can knock out anybody in the welterweight division. There's no one that is going to take a left from that guy clean and not at least get wobbled.
Yeah, you know what? Basically, I got a tweet today from someone saying how they think that Martin Kampmann should retire because his chin can't handle it. And I was like, dude,
that's crazy.
That is crazy. That's completely crazy.
He just needs to... Go ahead.
Johnny Hendricks can knock out anybody in that division. Anyone. Number two, Martin Kampmann is still a very good fighter. Number three, all he needs to do is shore up his defense, and he should be fine. It will take a while for him to shore up his defense, but goddamn, if he stuck and moved a little bit and continuously moved, he'd be fine. Look at it. Look, just because Diego Sanchez couldn't knock him out doesn't mean the dude can't get knocked out. But when he got hit by Diego Sanchez, but clearly he won the fight. But that doesn't, do you know what I mean? Like, his defense wasn't fantastic. So,
no, I mean, he just needs to tighten up. I mean, he leaves his chin up. He doesn't tuck his shoulder. I mean, there's several things, and he doesn't keep his right hand high. I mean, there's simple things that he could do to just make himself a little bit more protected. I mean, it's not going to protect you from a left straight, which is what kind of caught him. It looked like, but there's just small things he needs to change, and hopefully, this Hendricks loss will maybe make him make those changes.
No,
yeah, he definitely doesn't need to retire. That's insane.
Yeah, no, I don't think he needs to retire either. It's just ridiculous. I don't know. What do you think of GSP versus Condit?
Well, I mean, what can you say? I mean, if you look at the injuries or the people that come back from ACL injuries, for the most part, regardless of what sport they're in, they're usually somewhere in the neighborhood of 50 to 60% of what they were for the better part of 6-7 months after the injury. You have the freaks like Adrian Peterson, who right now is just tearing it up in the NFL. But for the most part, that doesn't happen. And especially like if you take the NFL for instance, most backs, if they're top tier backs, suffering the injury after the injury, they usually have a season of mediocrity. I mean, their yardage and just ability to stay on the field is cut in half. And that's some of those guys have 12 months of rest before they even start full practices. Whereas I think GSP was he was like 8 months, 9 months, and he started training again.
Yeah.
And so to look at, and to me last night GSP looked like I would say he was probably 90%. I don't think he was 100%, but I'd say he was 90%, and that's just amazing to me that this guy was able to recover that well. And so, I mean, I like you said, when I was watching him in the interviews during prime time, I think the stuff he was saying was obviously it was true. I mean, it really, the injury really resonated in him and stirred him up and made him refocus and really bring it. And in doing so, having a fighter like Carlos Condit, I mean, he had by far and away the most exciting fight he's had in several years. I mean, since he got knocked out. So props to Carlos Condit and GSP. I mean, they both came in. And you know that Condit, no matter what happens to the guy, he is not going away. He's going to keep coming and keep coming and keep coming and try to get the win. It looked kind of like after the first round that Condit, you could see in his face that the fact that GSP was able to hold him down and he wasn't able to do anything. I think it got to him a little bit, but Condit is still, he's just a tough dude, and he'll definitely be back and better than ever. So I was really happy. I mean, I thought it was a fantastic main event, a fantastic championship fight.
Yeah, no, it was really good. Did you jump out of your seat when the head kick occurred?
No, I didn't. I watched GSP roll down, and I mean, Condit was landing punches. GSP was moving, and I just kept saying, I was like, just give him a minute, and then he recovered. So no, I never. And this is coming again. I've criticized GSP so much in the last couple of years, but this fight, man, he really, really, really impressed me. By far and away, to me, the most impressive fight he's ever had. Mainly, and it was due to taking the head kick, recovering, and just continuing to dominate, landing big punches. The guy obviously doesn't. I don't say obviously he does. I mean, Condit's not a guy that gets knocked out, but he doesn't possess probably the power of a Johnny Hendricks, but he still landed some big punches, landed some nasty elbows from guard. Like I said, I enjoyed it, and I enjoyed watching Condit work, man. If Condit hadn't gotten cut, it would have probably been a different fight because he'd have been able to do more from bottom. He said so much in the press conference. I mean, when you get that much blood all over you, it's so hard to get grip and transition and do anything from your guard. But regardless, it was a great fight.
For me personally, that's a fight that you should show a bunch of young fighters and go, guys, this is how you fight from the bottom. You have to have an active guard. Give your opponent some trouble. Don't just get underhooks and hold him there until the referee says, all right, guys, stand up. That's bullshit. You need to be active with your butt guard. We saw that with Ivan Menjivar. We saw that with Carlos Condit. Even though he lost, he was still dangerous. In some kind of way, we saw it with Mark Hominick, but not too much. But you've got to be active with your guard, guys. Active with off your back. Apologies.
No, without a doubt. I mean, if you're not going for submissions, you need to be trying to get back up to your feet, and especially because I mean the refs. You don't know if the ref's going to be if you hold the guy, is the ref going to stand you up or not? So you need to be constantly working to get back to your feet or working for the submission. But that's what made the GSP Condit fight so fantastic. Was that Condit, like you said, it was constantly working and trying different things. And what really got me is that GSP had so much respect for Condit's ability to sweep and to transition on the ground. That when I was watching the fight, I thought the side choke is there. Why aren't you going for it? And then after the fight, GSP said I saw it was there, but I thought that Condit was baiting me. I wasn't sure. Is it there? Is he baiting me? Is something going to happen when I go for it? And so. That's why he didn't go for it, and that just shows you how good Condit is on the ground. I mean, how much respect GSP had for his skills.
Or does it show ring rust?
I don't think so. I said going into this ring rust. I mean, and GSP said he had ring rust, but it was not being used to the lights and the people yelling and screaming and stuff. I think that if you fight, if you're fighting 80% going into me, you're never going to be able to emulate someone like Carlos Condit, and so his skill level. So you might not be able to get that total package when you're in your workouts. But I think if you're going full go, man, you're going to know. I mean, you're going to get rid of the ring rust if you're going. Yeah. I mean, and GSP said he knew he was at 100%. He knew everything his body was good. So else that some people might have had, because maybe some people, going into this fight, maybe they wouldn't have pushed themselves as hard as GSP did, and they would have had doubts, which then create the ring rust. You're not sure of yourself, but GSP didn't look like he was unsure of anything other than, okay, he didn't go for the submission, but he said that was something he watched Carlos spent 50% of his fights on the ground, but he's only had one takedown in his career. But he's
crazy.
Yeah, but most of the time when he's on the ground, he's in top position. So that means that, he's sweeping guys, he's going through transitions, and so he respected that. So I don't know, man. I think GSP was on top of his game last night. His double leg looked great. The only thing, he looked a little bit tired, but hell, he'd been beat on. I mean, Condit didn't. It wasn't like GSP just pounded out Condit for 5 rounds. I mean, Condit had a couple flurries, landed some big elbows, a couple big strikes. So. And then GSP's coming off the 18-month layoff, so I think he looked great.
No, I completely agree. When someone gets injured like that, you automatically think, well, are they going to lose a step, all this sort of stuff. Dude, he looked perfectly fine. Probably actually looked better than he has in, as of late. Maybe in a weird way, it was sort of like a blessing that he got the injury, because as he said, it lit a fire under his arse, and a motivated GSP is an exciting GSP. But the one thing that impressed me the most about St. Pierre was the one thing that I thought would be his downfall. When he got head kicked, and he hit the floor and Condit was going after him, he got bloodied up. I said on the show that a moment like that, well, that could really, we're going to see how strong mentally St. Pierre is. And a lot's been really made about his mental, about how strong he is his character and his spirit as a fighter. And it really showed that, not only is he technically good, not only is he physically good, he's also incredibly mentally strong, because I genuinely think GSP before the injury gets bloodied up, freaks out. He was completely focused, and it was very impressive, and the welterweight division better be scared again. St. Pierre's back, baby.
No, definitely. And so that leads us to, is GSP going to fight Anderson Silva? Is he going to leave the welterweight division and fight Anderson Silva? To me, it doesn't look like he really wants to. Mm-hmm. I mean, he doesn't want to put the weight on. Like he said, that he's said it on multiple occasions, not just last night, that if he puts the weight on, he won't be able to cut back down to welterweight. His body just won't handle it. Won't be able to handle it. Dana was pretty confident. I think 2 weeks ago, didn't Dana say this fight was going to happen if GSP won?
Yes.
I thought that he did. I mean, it was another one of those moments where I was like, Dana, why do you say stuff like that? But it sounds like GSP is pretty hesitant. So Anderson Silva's definitely game, but GSP seems to be hesitant.
I can't really blame GSP for being hesitant either, because he's moving up in weight. To be fair, he looks huge now, so I don't even know why he's worried, because he's an absolutely massive welterweight now. He looks so much bigger. But he's moving up in weight to fight the best fighter in the world. If it's gonna happen, you better hope that the UFC are dipping into their pockets and making at least a $5 million sort of thing for both fighters, because that's the only way I reckon it's gonna happen. You have to give them an offer they really can't refuse. Godfather reference.
No, I agree. I agree with you there. I mean, they are definitely going to have to put the money out there, bonuses and all that stuff aside. I mean, they're going to have to bring the money to the table to make this happen. And maybe that's why GSP's saying the things that he's saying, because he's wanting to see, see Zuffa get out the checkbook and put some money in his pocket. I mean, I think if they fight Anderson Silva and he loses, I mean, how bad? I mean, you lose to the best there is. I mean, I don't know that really hurts his legacy. To me, it doesn't. I mean, he's still going to be looked at as one of the, he's definitely going to be looked at as the greatest welterweight of all time, and he's still going to be looked at as one of the greatest mixed martial artists of all time.
Yeah, no, for sure. Do you want to see the fight? What would you rather see? Would you rather see John Jones versus Anderson Silva or George St. Pierre versus Anderson Silva?
No, I'd rather see John Jones, Anderson Silva. I think that if Anderson Silva and GSP fight, I think Anderson's going to smash him.
But then if you see Anderson Silva versus John Jones, you'd also think that John Jones is going to smash Anderson Silva.
No, I don't think that John Jones would smash Anderson Silva. I think that
really?
fight... No, I don't think John Jones smashes Anderson Silva.
Why?
Just because I don't know. It just depends. I mean, if John Jones comes in and doesn't make... Because Anderson typically doesn't make mistakes. And John does still make mistakes. It's just John is so gifted that he's able to recover from them. A John Jones that doesn't make mistakes, good luck with anybody. And when I say, I mean, you know what? Everybody's going to make mistakes in the cage. I don't mean that your fight's perfect. But I just think that Anderson Silva, man, he's too much of a tactician. His striking's fantastic. And he can knock out anyone. Anyone. And so I think that makes for a better fight. I mean, GSP's only hope is to grind out a victory against Anderson. And I think in 5 rounds that Anderson's going to catch him and put him out. Whereas John Jones, Anderson Silva is going to it'll be a lot better fight to me too. I mean, because not that John Jones could not win that fight. It's just I think John's going to have to bring his A game, and Anderson Silva. I mean, especially as of late, typically always brings his A game. So I think that I would rather see that fight. It would be a lot more of an enjoyable fight.
Fair enough. Rousey. Let's talk about some Rousey. What are your thoughts? WMMA in the UFC, 135-pound division.
Women will never fight in the UFC. Women will never fight in the UFC.
Women will never fight in the UFC. Christine Cyborg Santos.
I tell you what, and I believe that Dana...
Not going.
Well, Dana said that the only way that Santos is coming in is if she fights at 135, and then her doctors say that she can't fight at 135. So evidently, her doctors say that she can't cut down to 135. So I'm guessing that we're not going to see Chris Cyborg Santos in the UFC.
It was her chance to make mad money.
No, absolutely. But Ronda Rousey, I mean, who do you think they're going to get? They're going to get in there to fight her.
There are a bunch of fighters that I'd like to see her fight. I'm literally blanking on her name. There's a 7-0, 135-pound.
Sarah McMahon.
Not Sarah McMahon. Sarah McMahon's 6-0 or 5-0. No, she's 6-0. She's got the same record as Ronda Rousey. I think they'll probably go with Sarah McMahon because she's got a little bit more media attention than the person I'm thinking of. I will tell you exactly who it is in a second. But is that the person you'd like to see fight Ronda Rousey next?
I think I don't know. I really don't know. I'd really have to sit and I'd really have to sit and think about it. Who I'd want to put in there with her. I don't know that it matters. I mean, to be honest, I think that she's such a draw that as long as you get one of the top girls in there with her, everybody's going to tune in just because it's Ronda Rousey. I'm just kind of curious if they'll make her a main event. Is she going to be pay-per-view? Is she going to be, UFC on Fox? I mean, what are they going to do with her? To me, personally, I think I would go UFC on Fox just because it's going to get her out there that much more versus the pay-per-view.
Yeah, I would see her going to UFC on Fox, to be honest. I mean, it makes sense in the long term because you just want more people to see her when she's on pay-per-view. So give her a chance at fighting for free, fighting on free TV, and see how that does. If it does crazy ratings, then you've got yourself a massive draw, in my opinion. I find it hard to sort of figure out whether or not she's a massive draw or she's a flash in the pan, because I still think that what is her name? Gina Carano. Jesus Christ, did I say what's her name about Gina Carano? Gina Carano is still probably the female biggest draw.
The one woman that doesn't fight anymore is still the biggest draw.
Yeah, that's the point.
I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that, man. I think that Ronda's getting up there. I think that she's her popularity is definitely.
I'm pretty sure I only asked you last week, is she Gina Carano level, when you were like, no.
No, I said she's not, but I think that she's getting up there. I mean, I think that her popularity. I mean, just the fact that the UFC has officially signed her. I mean, I think that says a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might be getting it, but it doesn't say they've officially signed her. That to me says a ton.
Well, we'll see what happens. Is there anything else to happen in MMA this week? Gray made it out versus Joe Lozon, sadly. Who's actually taking his place? I've completely forgotten now. Joe Lozon versus Erica. This is the point where you come in and help me out, because I've been very busy this week.
Jim Miller.
Jim Miller. Still a very exciting fight. Thoughts? Is it a better fight? Is it a better fight for Lozon now, or a worse fight?
I don't know. I mean, I think it's probably a worse fight. I mean, Jim Miller really needs a win. I think that I think this is. I don't know, man. I thought Gray was going to win that fight too. So I don't know. He's just going from a tough fight to probably just a little bit a step down, but still a really really tough fight.
Yeah. No, for sure. I think that's probably it. There was another injury. Shane Carwin versus Roy Nelson. But
does anybody care? I mean, were you looking forward to the Shane Carwin versus Roy Nelson fight?
No.
And now we've got Roy Nelson versus is it
Matt Mitrione. I enjoy watching Matt Mitrione fight, so I'm more excited about that fight than I was about Shane Carwin versus Roy Nelson.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm even excited. I enjoy listening to Matt Mitrione talk, so I guess I'll enjoy the interviews he does leading up to the fight.
Who do you reckon will win, Roy Nelson or Matt Mitrione?
I'm going with Roy Nelson. I mean, Mitrione hasn't beat anybody that's top tier or top 10 or top 15 for that matter. So he looked horrible against Chet Congo. Roy Nelson, even though he's a bit of an idiot, he's still got that big right, and he's fantastic on the ground. So I'm going to go with Roy Nelson.
I think it's hard to say because we haven't seen Matt Mitrione in a year.
No, you're right. Maybe Mitrione's turned it up. Mitrione's a fantastic. He's a great athlete, and his stand up looked like it was improving. But like I said, the Czech Congo fight was pretty disappointing. So,
plus, when you're a fantastic athlete like he is, and you take a year off and you really dedicate your life to the sport. You go around different gyms and whatnot. You're gonna get better, and it's gonna be interesting to see how good he is and how his athletic abilities have helped him.
No, for sure, and he's been spending time, a lot of time down with the Black Zillions. So I mean, we saw what they were able to do with Michael Johnson. So.
I'm pretty sure Michael Johnson is this is going to sound very weird, the best member of that group, like the most successful member.
Well, he has been, yes. To date, he's been the most successful member. And I mean, it's pretty impressive what they've done with him. So maybe they can do something similar with Mitrione. Maybe.
Cool. It looks like we're done with the MMA talk. Let's get into the entertainment side. We probably need some some theme music.
We need a segue. Yeah, we need to come up with some segue theme music for the entertainment portion.
Erica, you're musical. Why can't you make something? I'm just gonna get ignored. She's completely ignored me. But yeah, what have you been watching? You enjoyed The Walking Dead? I think it was a bit slow this week.
The Walking Dead. You thought The Walking Dead was slow this week?
It felt a little bit slow last week. I should say last week.
Well, I guess compared to what we've been dealing with, I guess it slowed down a little bit. No, man, I'm still enjoying it, man. It just continues to, or Kirkman continues to impress me with how he's writing the Walking Dead TV series, little twists and stuff, and I can't wait to see what he does. Now, do you know? I mean, I don't know how much of the comic have you read. Do you know what the phone represents? What at least in the comics, what it represents?
Say again?
The phone. Do you know what the phone represents?
I think I pretty much stopped reading after just after the dude.
Okay, well the phone doesn't come up until way later in the comics. So I'm really curious to see what exactly the phone is going to be.
I don't even the phone at the. Oh yes.
At the very end, when it rings, he picks it up. And, he's
Do you want to tell me who's in the end of the phone?
Like I said, no. I'll tell you off air because it's a pretty. If he's doing the comic thing, then it'd be a huge spoiler. So I'll have to tell you off air. But I'm just like I said. So I mean, he keeps the people that read the comic are guessing and trying to figure out what the hell's going on. The people that haven't read the comic are guessing and trying to figure out what's going on. So I mean, they're doing a fantastic job with the writing and stuff. And the cast is just, I mean, Andrew Lincoln he's really shining this season. I mean, I thought he was good last season, but this season he's really blowing me away with some of the stuff he did. And Chandler Riggs, I thought, is stepping up too. As last season as Carl Grimes, I wasn't a fan really up till this season. I really didn't like the kid. So, but I was hoping that he would die.
Fuck you, little 11-year-old prick.
Bastard. But yeah, he's drawing me in, and then Michonne. I mean, I was glad to see him flesh her out a little bit and give her the opportunity to talk and a little bit more and have a little bit more of the spotlight. So yeah, Daryl Dixon. I mean, the cast is just fantastic, and I still am still enthralled to watch it. Now, another show that both you and I watch I'm right now in a downward spiral is Homeland.
Was it not Dexter last week that you were not impressed?
Well, Dexter I'd already wanted to jump ship with Dexter, and then Homeland 2 episodes ago with the CIA forensic team getting wiped out by the terrorist SWAT team in broad daylight, along with a few other things I was kind of irritated with, but I was giving him a pass. And then this last episode, it's just getting really muddy right now. So I'm hoping that they turn it around. I mean, Carrie is still fantastic. Claire Danes, I mean, whenever she's in a scene, I still enjoy watching her. And Damian Lewis is fantastic. The acting is still there. It's just the writing is getting a little weird for me. They seem like they're really worried about that maybe everyone didn't know that Walden is a giant piece of shit, and so they're trying to ram that down our throats. And the whole hit and run thing is, especially being that it seems to be now a focal point. I mean, we went from a show that is worried about saving the United States from a terrorist attack to now a hit and run might bring the entire thing to a screeching halt. I mean, it's just, I don't know. I'm having some difficulties with it right now. I'm hoping I'm going to stay with it though. I'm not going anywhere. Like I said, the acting is still good, and the scenes with Claire Dane and Damian Lewis are still absolutely fantastic. I still enjoy that, and my wife loves it, so it means I still have to watch it, regardless of how much I, want to jump ship. Same thing with Dexter. I'm stuck watching those no matter what, because my wife still enjoys both.
Okay, between me and you though, the best thing in Homeland is what is it?
I don't know.
Well, I'm asking you because I want to know if we're on the same wavelength, because I know what the best thing is for me. But
I mean, the best thing for me is Claire Danes' character. Period.
Peter Quinn.
Yeah, I don't know. I enjoy what he brings to the cast and what he brings to the show. But I still make Claire Danes, because I don't even know. Half the time I'm watching the show and I still don't know if she's crazy, if she's acting. I mean, she's acting, but is she acting crazy for Damian Lewis's benefit? Nicholas Brody's benefit? Is she just really nuts? I mean, I don't know. I still can't figure what the hell's going on with her. And she really puts that through, huh?
She wants to bang, bro.
Yeah, that's maybe. She wants just bang. No, I don't do that.
Just let her bang, bro.
But I don't know. I like Peter Quinn though. I do enjoy his character. I'm glad he's not dead. So,
I still think they've like given him the best lines.
Yeah, no, he's like I said, he's a really good addition to the characters, and so it sucks that they've, like I said, they just really seem like they're really worried that no one really knew how much of a jackass Walden, Vice President Walden was, and so they're really trying to show us through this hit and run story arc, and it's just, to me, it's just lame, and being that it took up half the last episode, it was just really irritating. So I mean, are you? I take it you're not on board with me that the show is maybe steering down the wrong road. That that they.
No. I've got the sort of wait and see sort of feeling with shows, and I think I've only really ever said fuck this to one show, and that was Dexter last season. Last season with Dexter. Was just, I couldn't do it. I wasn't even gonna watch this season of Dexter because last season was so terrible. I had to be convinced by a friend of mine because I was home for the weekend when the first episode started. It was like, yo, we're gonna watch this, and it turned out to be probably the best episode they've ever had in the entire show. So I'm officially hooked. With Homeland, I just want to see where they go with it because I understand that. They've been going balls to the wall for every single episode, so now it's sort of time to set something up now and slow it down a little bit for another bang, because it's not like a 22 episode show, it's 10, maybe 12, 13 maybe, so they really got to sort of slow it down now and just get towards the ending point. So I can understand why you're not so impressed with it as it basically premature ejaculated TV style. But
I thought we were going to get through an entire show without any sexual references.
How could I ever do that? Dude, come on,
I tell you what, who is the most irritating character on the show for you?
Probably the vice president.
Really? Mike Faber is for me.
Who's Mike Faber?
Mike Faber is Nicholas's buddy that's
I called him John Cena.
Call him John Cena.
He looks exactly.
Minus the steroids.
Minus the steroids. He is basically John Cena. It's like,
well, his acting has been John Cena-esque here as of late. So I can kind of see that.
I'm like, fuck this dude.
Yeah, that's another person that started to irritate me to beat hell. So
look.
I don't know. Like I said, I'm with you on waiting and seeing. I'm going to continue to watch it. I hope they turn it around. I hope they get past the stupid hit and run crap.
I'm still enjoying it. I'm still enjoying it. I still come home every Monday night, and I'm still looking forward to spending 3 hours of my time watching. I think I watch it in this exact order of I watched The Walking Dead first, then I watched Dexter, and then I watched Homeland. So I still look forward to doing that every single Monday. So I can't complain. What are your thoughts on Sons of Anarchy? Because I think this has been like it's basically been an episode a year. Sorry, of just sort of like we're gonna go full throttle at the start, slow it down in the middle, and then go full throttle at the end again. What are your thoughts on Sons of Anarchy, which has sort of done the exact same thing?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm still enjoying Sons. I think that we're finally going to get rid of Clay.
We're not.
You don't think so?
He's actually said that he's not dying this season. He doesn't know what happens next season, but he knows that he's on for next season.
Well, that's lame. And thanks for ruining that for me.
Get over it. Sorry. I didn't know that you didn't know.
Well, I wouldn't say I think he's going to die if I knew. So, anyways, yes.
Do you want to kill me?
No, it's all right. So, unfortunately, that really upsets me because I was really hoping to see the Damian Pope character come to the front, and I really enjoyed, his few spots. I really enjoy that character, so I was really hoping to see that.
When Damian Pope comes on the show, you know shit's about to go fucking down. Excuse my language, but it's damn true. Damian Pope comes in an episode and everyone's like, oh, wow, what's going to happen here? Because whenever he's there, something bad happens, burning someone's child to death. To be fair, you know, that sort of it was deserved in a weird sense. Not in a weird.
I guess. I mean, for the most part, that we haven't had to watch him burn anyone else's kids. So,
Yo, I want to see another kid die exact same way.
and what about Kurt Sutter's character?
Fucked up.
I don't even understand really what is going on. I can't think of her name. Is escaping me right now. Jax's wife.
I can't remember. I know her real name.
Tara.
There we go. I mean,
real name is Maggie.
Tara is so creeping me out. I hated her character when Sons of Anarchy first started. Like, I didn't hate her, but I mean, I just didn't like her character. I was kind of hoping something would happen to her, as I often do in shows when I start getting irritated with people. I hope they get killed off. But then I start at the beginning of this season, kind of digging her, and now she's just gotten really creepy and weird. So I don't.
I still don't understand what this is going to sound bad, or why am I bringing sexual and stuff into it. I'm still not understand why she was masturbating.
Yeah, I don't even remotely. I keep thinking I must have missed something.
I'm not complaining about it. Like, for real, that shit was cool. But,
no, it wasn't cool, dude. It was weird. It was weird. It was really weird. And so many people I've talked to miss that. They're like, I'm like, did you see? Man, that episode was really weird. And they immediately will reference the masturbation scene in the prison. And I'm like, no, that's not what I'm talking about. That's not the weird one. That I can understand. That's a dude that hasn't been with a woman for God knows how long. And I can get what happened with him. I don't understand the whole Tara sniffing the perfume and going all weirdy.
Well, maybe Jax wasn't giving her the loving, and she was a little bit turned on by Otto, and shit got real. I don't know. I'm winging it with this. I was just a bit. I don't know why it happened. It sometimes it feels like Kurt Sutter is using Sons of Anarchy as sort of like a pervy sort of thing for his own enjoyment. You see his wife getting banged by Jimmy Smith. That's weird as fuck. Then you got your leading lady, essentially, knocking one out, and you're knocking one out in front of her.
Yeah,
where's this going?
I don't know. And maybe they'll all be explained. I don't know, how do you explain that? Otto is still my favorite cameo appearance in the show. I love the character. He's such a just strange dude. And but I don't know, man. I would really love if anybody understands what was going on in that sequence. Please hit me up on Twitter, MMA Matt Simpson MMA. Let me know, because I still can't. I Googled it. I was like, surely the people are talking about this. What the freaking hell was going on there? And like I said, I saw a couple of people saying that there was some scenes that showed that she had like some kind of interest in Otto, but some sexual tensions. But I was like, I never noticed that. So
I kind of noticed that. I kind of did, but I don't know. It's a bit of you're kind of reaching when you say, oh yeah, she's got a thing for Otto. That's kind of reaching, if you're asking me.
And then, but like I said, I'm still enjoying the show. Katie Seagal, she's fantastic. I mean, even when she's completely down, it looks like she's constantly, trying to figure out an angle to play, just like Clay. I would marry her today if she was just, that's old woman sexy, And I'm pretty sure that scar's not real as well, so I wouldn't be completely unattracted to that. She's old woman sexy, and I can respect that sort of stuff. She's on that Helen Mirren sort of level. Not Glenn Close, though. Glenn Close is not doing it. Do what?
She's not hot. Glenn Close.
Oh, Glenn Close is not hot?
No.
Okay, well
Glenn Close is sort of asexual to me. I actually thought Glenn Close was a dude for a point in time. When I was much younger, but what's that film when she was...
So, powerful women scare you? Because Glenn Close typically plays like a powerful woman.
No, she's just got a sort of masculine face, and it sort of freaks me out a little bit. But there was once upon a time where... Oh, fuck off. There's a film. Wait a minute. There's a film that she's in with Bruce Willis, and I can't remember what it's called. Do you know what it's called?
No, I don't. I can't believe if it's a Bruce Willis. I don't know off the top of my head.
It's when there's like an image of her with her neck like turned around. It's a weird one. Do you not know this one Bruce Willis
Death
film?
Becomes Her is what you're thinking of.
Death Becomes
Oh yeah,
Her.
man, that is an old movie. Who else?
And that's not Glenn Close, sweetheart.
Oh Jesus. Who's in it?
That's Meryl Streep. There's Meryl Streep and Goldie Hawn.
Yeah.
They look exactly the same.
No, they really don't. But okay.
Meryl Streep and Goldie Hawn don't look the same. Okay, I'm going to look at Meryl Streep right now. And do they look the same? I don't know the image. Yeah, they do. They look like fucking twins. Come on.
I don't really see it either. Sorry.
Damn, Meryl Streep was hot when she was younger. Damn. Oh no, she didn't age very well. To be fair.
Yeah, I don't see that, but anyways, back to Sons. I've enjoyed it. I mean, I'm still looking forward to each week. So hopefully they can keep putting out solid episodes.
I miss Ope.
Yeah, you know what? I was talking with a couple people that actually quit watching the show. I can't remember if you or Erica brought that up, that some people stopped watching the show because of Opie's death. And they did. They quit watching it. They got so pissed off that they killed Opie off that they quit watching the show.
Everyone loves Opie.
I mean, they act like they're going to go back and watch it, but they're irritated that they killed him off. He was one of my, like I said, going into the prison, I was pissed because I thought, one of the guys I really like definitely going to not be coming out. So
To be honest, I was hoping it was going to be Tig.
I could have dealt with him a lot easier, just mainly because he's a complete nut job. I mean, yeah, Opie's death.
I love Chibs, but after that last episode, he's on some dark shit now.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I just think it shows how much those guys were affected by what happened to Opie. Like Jack said, nobody else saw what they did to Opie. I mean, I think that's what that is. I mean, I don't know if I wouldn't say that Chibs is down a dark path just yet. I think it's just that he was really affected. I mean, think about that though. I mean, if you saw somebody that you're that close to just bludgeoned to death, I mean, I'd be wanting to kill some people too.
Yeah, I suppose so. I just the whole they're really setting some shit up with the Grim Bastards now.
No, and I hope they continue to get. They need to get Smits in this more. I mean, Jimmy Smits is by far and away the best addition to Sons in recent memory. I love Jimmy Smits' character, and I think this. And I'm a big fan of Jimmy Smits.
Whatever he is.
What's that?
Jimmy Smith is good in whatever he's in. I mean, do you remember when he was in Dexter?
Oh yeah, he was
awesome.
Super creepy boy when he went. Yeah, he went super creepy in Dexter. But yeah, I like I said, he's good, and I think this though is his best role. I mean, I've enjoyed this role more than anything so far. So I wasn't a big LA Law person though. So
okay, well, with 2 episodes left of Sons of Anarchy, I'm pretty sure there's 2 episodes left. What do you think the end play is?
I really don't know now, since you're saying that Clay's going to be in next season. So I have no idea what the hell they're going to do. I mean, I'm completely at a loss. I really thought that they were going to finally take care of Clay, but I don't even have an idea. I'm going to have to really pay attention, I guess. They got the next episode's an hour and a half episode, so.
I thought last episode was an hour.
It was. This next one's another 90-minute episode.
Oh my god, life is good! By the way, did anyone see the last episode of Happy Endings, which is probably the funniest thing on earth?
I don't watch Happy Endings, so you'll have to, if Erica
What's wrong
caught
with
it.
you? Erica.
I watch so much TV. I mean, some stuff is going to have to be left out.
Yes, I did. I never miss an episode.
What did you think?
I thought it was funny. I mean, they're all funny. The next one looks amazing. Have you seen the previews for the next one?
I tend not to watch previews of Happy Endings, but please give me a little hint.
Something about the real world. Like MTV's The Real World?
No way.
Yeah. Doesn't that sound amazing? I don't even have to tell you anything else. Just MTV's The Real World.
Do you know what though? I'm really not really starting to. I am quickly becoming in love with one of the characters and herself in real life. Can you ever guess who it is? I mean, they're three beautiful women on the show, but one of them I'm just absolutely...
It has to be Penny, because Penny's the best one on there.
It is Penny.
Penny's the best one on there. I love Elizabeth Cuthbert, but...
Alicia Cuthbert.
Alicia, it's Elizabeth Cuthbert. What are you talking about?
Elizabeth Cuthbert?
It's Elizabeth Cuthbert.
It's Alicia Cuthbert.
No, you're wrong.
No, it's Eliza Coupe, sorry. The other person's Eliza Coupe. I'm getting the names mixed up. Regardless of that, yeah, no, I'm in love with Casey Wilson. I want to marry her.
They're all pretty amazing characters. It's a great show. They have great chemistry. They obviously have great chemistry. And, you know, the show is ridiculous, but, you know, it's not too ridiculous, you know? So, I like it. I like it a lot. Watch it. Matthew, watch it.
Hey, I've started watching Misfits, so that was an addition to everything else I already watched.
Oh, yeah, no, keep watching Misfits.
What do you think of Misfits?
I love Misfits. I mean, I'm glad that she turned me on to it, because I would have never... I didn't even know anything about it, so I would have never watched it.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's fantastic. I really...
Are you finding the accents a little bit weird?
No, because I watch all the Guy Ritchie movies repeatedly.
Oh.
So, I mean, he's got some pretty rough accents on that, so I'm used to it.
That?
Yeah. So I do okay with the accents. That don't bother me. But the characters, I mean, some of the storylines, there's a couple ones that I text Erica as I was watching it that were a little bit weird for me. There's a peanut allergy episode that was kind of strange, but I like it. I mean, I like what they've done with it. I'm hoping that I think I just started the third season, and it's starting to... I don't know if I like where it looks like it might be going. I'm hoping I'm wrong, Erica. Am I going to enjoy the entire third season?
Yes,
right when they
no.
start,
If I remember
they
correctly,
get
the
new
third
powers,
season.
so they get
First
new
off,
powers.
there's the third season they get new powers, and the girl who plays Kelly, her character has an amazing episode in the third season. I'm fairly certain it's you haven't seen an episode with Nazis in her, have you?
No.
Okay, amazing episode, because she is my favorite character, just because she is just balls out crazy, and I just love that about her. And yeah. I mean, there's some really good episodes. There's some you might be upset at the end of the third season, but thus far.
Yeah, and I'm guessing, does Nathan not come back? I mean, is he?
No. He left the show.
That sucks. I really liked his character. He said,
"Really?"
Yeah, because he would make me laugh. I mean, he would say something utterly stupid, and I would laugh, and I like that.
I hated his character. I just
was
despised
Nathan
him.
the Irish one?
Say what?
Was Nathan the Irish dude?
I believe so.
So
Yeah, he was.
Everyone I know watches Misfits, and everyone I know agrees with Matt. So Eric, you're the first person I've ever heard say that he didn't like Nathan.
I did not like his character, and I actually find that surprising, because I've turned a few friends onto it, and a lot of people didn't like his character.
I've never heard anyone say that they didn't like the dude.
He's annoying. I mean, there was nothing. I didn't think he was funny. So
you must hate me then. Fuck.
I mean, I think you're being a little generous with yourself.
What? Oh, dude. Hey. What's the love? Erica.
No, I'm just saying. You know.
I don't know, but I enjoyed Nathan, and so I'm sad to see. And the way they just kind of, it seems, so he doesn't come back at all during the third season. They don't kill him or anything. Okay.
So what you missed is there is an an offshoot episode that explains what happens to him.
Okay.
So
All
if
right,
you search the interwebs for that, I don't know if Hulu has it, but I've seen it. If you search the internet for it, you should be able to find it pretty easily.
Okay.
So it does explain exactly what happens to Nathan.
Okay. And then I guess behind Nathan, then I love Simon. I love Simon's character. Really enjoy his character. So, but regardless, I'm glad you turned me on to it because I'm thoroughly enjoying it so far.
The best part of the show is that it combined so many things that I liked. I like the thought of people having, extraordinary powers. I like the thought of, these kids who really have just been irresponsible people up until this point in their life. They're laid with something that they have to make a choice of what kind of person they're going to be, and sometimes they make the right choice and sometimes they make the wrong choice, which is that's reality right there. So, tights and masks, not reality.
I'm not going to lie to you. I genuinely don't think you'd get a TV show like The Misfits in America.
Well, The Misfits is basically Heroes, which was in America, and it did amazing.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit more different because there's a sense of humor in Misfits.
Is that the only difference that you see in it? Because I don't think that's a big enough difference to say that they're not the same type of show.
I think they're a little bit, from what I've seen all of Heroes, and I only enjoyed the first season.
Oh yeah, well if you're a human being, you only enjoyed the first season. But there are a lot of non-humans.
The biggest difference to me is that Heroes is on a larger scope, whereas so far the way the Misfits is being shot, it's more personal. Everything's very very.
Yeah,
personal.
it just feels like there's a difference.
But the idea behind it is still the same. It's a bunch of people that didn't have powers getting powers and trying to figure out how the hell they're going to deal with it. It's the same premise, I guess, is what I would say.
Yes, that really there isn't a difference between. There's, there really isn't a difference in
save the cheerleader, save the world.
Save the cheerleader, save the world.
But so I enjoyed the Misfits, and then and I did want to touch on before we took off though, Breaking Dawn Part 2, doing $31 million. No, settle down. You know that I did not watch that. There is not enough money in the. Actually, I probably would watch it if somebody paid me. But if someone, but other than that,
but wait. Let's talk. $1 million.
1 million. I would watch it. I would probably watch it for $20, but I'm not going to watch it. I have to pay to. So, money's money. If you pay me to go watch something stupid, I'll go ahead and do it. But the Breaking Dawn, it did $31 million between the midnight release and like 10 a.m. the next morning. There are tons and tons of movies that would be just completely blown away and super excited to do 31 million in a weekend. So 31 million in a few hours with just a few shows. They only had a couple shows and they did 31 million. People, what the hell is wrong with you? Is it that the people are so in love with these characters that they can just not give a shit about how horrible the series is? Is that it? Is that what's going on here? I get it if your final destination, you're a bad movie, but you do cool special effects and you understand though that you're a bad movie. You're not trying to be a good movie. Where I feel like the Breaking Dawn, the Twilight series, they really want to be a good movie. They want to be Lord of the Rings, but they're not. You're not Lord of the Rings, not in the slightest. And damn you people for going and seeing this crap, because that means I'm going to get stuck watching some. Oh, I won't get stuck watching it, but that just means that my theater is going to be overtaken by even dumber shit down the road because of you.
Erica, any thoughts on Breaking Dawn? I'd assume that you'd have some thoughts on it.
I've never seen it, never read it, don't have a desire to do either. It hasn't drawn me in.
Andre, being that you're the only one that's actually watched it,
I don't think Kristen Stewart or Robert Pattinson are attractive enough. And Matt always gets on me for, being like this kind of superficial movie watcher, which I am to a certain extent, but where the movie wants me to honestly believe that these are, really good looking, smoky vampire, and all these girls are falling head over heels for Robert Pattinson. All these guys think Kristen Stewart is hot. She's not hot, and he's not attractive. I mean, bottom line.
I think Robert Pattinson would be a great dude to go to a pub with and just have shoot the shit with and have a few drinks. I think he'd be really cool for that. But I don't see why girls are madly in love with him. I think they're in love with Edward Cullen, and the fact that he plays Edward Cullen makes everyone sort of go, whoo! But Kristen Stewart is not attractive whatsoever.
No, I don't. I'm just completely at a loss as to why. It has to be that these 13, 14, 15-year-old girls have read the book and they just want the movie to not suck, and they're going to go see it regardless. I mean, that's the only thing that I can figure out. I mean, it's Seven Psychopaths. I think it had like a 4-week run in theaters. Fantastic movie, and this piece of shit is going to be in theaters for like the next millennium. I mean, you'll still probably be able to watch it next June in some select theater somewhere, and so it just irritates me to no end.
Are you going to see Silver Linings Playbook?
Yeah, actually, I think I will. I mean, I've got 4 days. I got a short week next week, so I'm going to catch up on some movies, and that's one that's the one that I'm planning on watching.
I'll be seeing it next Monday. It should be fun, or I might go see it on Tuesday. I'm not sure yet.
No, yeah,
I think it's out in the UK. I'm not sure.
I know I think did it have a limited release this weekend? So it should be.
I don't know.
I think it did. I think it had a limited release this weekend, and then it's going to be, its major release is going to be next week. So yeah, you should be able to see it. And like I said, I'm going to go check it out. Which everybody knows that I'm not the biggest romantic movie person guy.
I am.
And yeah, we know you are. But yeah, I definitely Bradley Cooper. He might be taking yeah, I about said Josh Koscheck. John.
Easy.
Oh my God. This is the sickness. I'm blaming this. John Cusack. Good Lord. The sickness, it's killing me, people. This is horrible. My brain's not working. But he might be taking John Cusack's place if he continues to do romantic comedies.
No one can touch John Cusack's place, though. The dude's in Hall of Fame sort of movie.
Oh, he is, but Cusack's movies as of late have been pretty bad. Hey, okay, I was off subject. I was watching trailers before we did our show. Have you watched the trailer for the Lone Ranger?
I have seen the trailer for the Lone Ranger.
Johnny Depp as Tonto, dude. Oh my God.
Perfect.
It was just well, when I saw that Johnny Depp was in it, I was like, who he is. He's sure. I mean, then he's Tonto. I was like, oh my God. I was like, I'm gonna have to watch this movie. There's so many people will hate it, but Johnny Depp is Tonto. I mean, when he said something. I had some Kimosabi quote, and I was just like, I used to watch Lone Ranger as a kid, so I was just like, oh my God, this is gonna be perfect. So it piqued my interest.
Fair enough. Yeah, I saw a few Lone Rangers in my time, but not many. So.
Yeah, I don't imagine you probably watched the whole Lone Rangers.
I'm rewatching Dragon Ball Z at the moment, so.
Well, you need to pick something else because Dragon Ball Z is pretty bad.
It's not. It's not as bad as some of the stuff I've seen before.
Well, I believe that.
It's not that bad. It could be a lot worse.
Yeah, it definitely could. So I think we've touched on everything for this episode of Across the Pond.
Anybody you'd like to thank?
As always, you make sure you go check out FightFansRadio.com. Follow myself at Matt Simpson MMA on Twitter, Andre Jacobs MMA on Twitter, and FightFans_Erica with a K on Twitter. And thanks for listening and downloading the show. And thank you, Andre, for doing another good show.
Shout out to all the fans who listen to the show, all you downloaders. Always, shout out to Erica, being as lovely as always and whatnot. Much love to Matt, and fuck this. Bring it old school.
You just went old school.
I really did just go old school. Yeah, cool. Erica, play that funky music that isn't really funky. Peace out, enjoy life, and stay safe.